Hello, this lecture is meant for folks who might be adding our class late, specifically our English 10 class at Fresno State. So first, it's important that you understand there are a few steps you'll need to take to catch up. We're going to start with understanding our late add policy, then adding yourself to a group, looking through the welcome module, and working on assignments to get caught up. So the first thing that you should understand about adding our class late is that I really don't recommend it because our class is a fast-paced course. We cover everything that a 5A and 5B class covers. So a 5A and 5B class is 2 semesters. English 10 is 1 semester. So it's already very quick paced. Students who add during weeks 2 and 3 tend to have a difficult time catching up. So I want you to succeed in class. Catching up takes a lot of work. Adding very late is not something that tends to go well for students. So I always caution you that if you can avoid adding late, that's my recommendation. However, if you are definitely set, you're going to add late and you're going to catch up, here's how you do it. So you have 1 week from the day that you add to catch up. Make sure that you are completing all of your assignments that you missed, as well as keeping track of the assignments that are ongoing once you add, because you are responsible for both. So you're going to have to do some catch up while also keeping up with our class as we go along in the modules. So it's a lot to juggle. You also might have missed out on classwork and participation points, so students who add late can make up homework assignments. Those homework assignments are available on Canvas. They are discussions and assignments that are due by Wednesday and Friday by 11:59 p.m. So that's how you can tell which things are homework and which things are classwork. So all of the stuff that's due on Wednesday and Friday by 11:59, you will have access to, and you can make that up. The classwork assignments, which you may have missed before you added, you cannot make those up. And so they will, put you at a little bit of a disadvantage. There are some extra credit opportunities available. You can check those out in our syllabus. Okay, so once you understand the late add policy and what you are getting yourself into in terms of trying to catch up, the first thing you're going to need to do is join a group. So you'll need to go to Canvas, go to People, go to Groups, choose a group, and add yourself. The way that you can do that is to make sure that you're choosing a group that's within your class time. So if you are in my 8 a.m. class, you need to find one of the groups that says, 8 a.m. group 1 or 8 a.m. group 2 and so on. Using the Canvas inbox feature, you'll need to send a quick little Canvas email to that group and explain that you have just added the class, introduce yourself, and ask to be added to their group chat or however it is that they communicate. Once you've done both of those things, then you need to email me. In your email, you need to include your full name, the class time that you have joined, the group number that you have reached out to. I can use that information and then officially add you to the group on Canvas, and you'll start collaborating with them during class time. One of the other things that you need to do very quickly once you add the class is to complete all of the welcome module tasks. You'll need to log into Canvas, go to modules, and then complete everything in the welcome module. There are several tasks that you need to complete and other things that you need to review. You don't turn anything in that module. However, you will not be able to access any of our class graded assignments until you complete everything in that welcome module by clicking through and following the directions and just showing that you have interacted with that information. Once you have completed everything in the welcome module, then you can go to our week 1 module on Canvas and start our class assignments that are, actually graded and things you turn in. Depending on how late you're adding, you might also need to complete work for weeks 2 and 3. Again, you have 1 week to get fully caught up. it's a lot. So consider if that is the choice that you want to make. So once you have completed everything in the welcome module, then you can complete our homework assignments, right? So remember that you'll need to do the welcome module and then week 1 and so on. To tell the difference between homework and classwork, remember that homework assignments have a due date at 11:59 p.m. They are due on Wednesdays and Fridays. Those are the things that you can make up within 1 week of adding late. Classwork assignments are things that we do during class time. They often include group collaboration during lecture. These cannot be made up when you are adding the class late, but I highly recommend still looking at them because they will support you in completing the homework. And you'll see important information that you would have gotten during like class time lectures, things like that. So definitely still review the classwork. Just know that you're not able to turn it in if you miss that classwork. Remember, we've only got 1 week once you add to catch up on as much as you can. If there are things that you have to miss, you can't get to, that's okay. As long as it's not a habit, you can come back from that. I would recommend taking advantage of our extra credit opportunities, which you can look at in the syllabus. Do remember that you are responsible for due dates from the time that you add. So during that 1 week, while you are also catching up, you are going to be responsible for due dates for homework and things like that. So keep that in mind. All right, let me zoom out of this just a little bit. So welcome to class. I'm glad that you're joining us, even if it's a little bit late. I've got a bunch of helpful resources here for you, including our syllabus, information on how to contact me, Canvas help, technology help, info on how to access our textbooks. So click all of those links as needed. I also have an important note for spring 26. I have to be away from the office unexpectedly for a couple week period here at the beginning of the semester. So I will be unavailable from January 22nd until February 6th. However, you will still have class lectures, recordings, materials on Canvas so that you have things to do during class on all of those dates, even though we are not meeting on Zoom. You still have everything you need to complete on Canvas for classwork and homework. So make sure that you're checking those things out, and just know that I will be away from my desk during that time, but I'm doing my best to make sure that all of the support that you could possibly need is available on Canvas before I have to step away. If you have an urgent concern that cannot be addressed with our existing class materials, you can contact Virginia Crisco. She is a great colleague of mine, and she is helping out while I'm away. This is her email address. But again, 99% of the things you'll run into and have questions about are covered in our class materials, in our syllabus, on Canvas, and with my recorded lectures. So welcome to class. I know you're going to do great catching up, and I look forward to talking with you if I haven't already.